The Lexington Humane Society needs to find homes for 23 horses. We'll show you how they ended up there.
Thousands of people have packed Times Square in New York to ring in 2016. What's being done to keep everyone safe? And back in Kentucky, there's one thing first responders want you to think about as you make your plans for the night.
This is WKYT News at 5.
Good afternoon to you on this New Year's Eve. It is not the type of animal they typically care for, but today the Lexington Humane Society is helping 23 horses.
And those horses were abandoned about a year ago. Our Hillary Thornton has more on the case in our top story at 5.
It is an unusual case for the Lexington Humane Society, now caring for 23 thoroughbred horses.
We were appalled as to see that someone would abandon these horses, especially that many. And thoroughbreds are very popular, and being in the horse capital of the world, it's really surprising that that would happen.
This all started about a year ago when a man abandoned his 33 horses at a boarding stable in Fayette County. Officials say the owner had not paid for those horses' care in months, leading animal care and control to step in, monitoring the horses for several months. Eventually, they gave the owner a deadline to pay his fees. When that did not happen, 10 of the horses were placed in homes, while 23 others were put in the care of the Lexington Humane Society. Since they were being monitored by animal care and control for those several months, officials say the thoroughbreds are in pretty good health overall. They are being housed at the boarding stable and will continue to receive the care and attention deserved until each one finds a home.
Horses are not cheap. They are very expensive to care for. Not only the small boarding fee that we're paying per horse, but also to feed and water and make sure that they have the proper health care.
For information on how you can help these horses and all of the other animals in the care of the Humane Society, just visit our website, WKYT.com. In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Animal control officers say that since this is considered an eviction, not a seizure, no charges have been filed.
New Year's Eve revelers started lining up early this morning for a spot in New York's Times Square. They'll be joined by thousands of police who will work to make sure it is a safe celebration. Jamie Yuka shows us the security precautions.
Can't wait to get to that line right there.
Crowds for the world's biggest party started showing up at 4 a.m., wanting a good seat to watch the ball drop at midnight.
Pretty freaking excited. Really excited.
Taylor Coyner is celebrating both the New Year and her 19th birthday.
I've never been here before. I've always dreamed about it since I was a kid, and now I'm finally here as my birthday surprise. Thank you.
Thousands of people will be searched and then corralled into secure pens to make sure revelers can safely ring in the new year.
We know how to do big events. We've shown it time and time again.
Officials say there is no specific or credible threat, but close to 6,000 officers will be in Times Square, just in case. Some in uniform, some undercover.
We're as prepared as you can be for this event coming up.
No backpacks and no alcohol are allowed. And if you leave the secured area for any reason, you have to go all the way back to the end of the line to get back in.
But most spectators aren't worried. They're excited for a good time.
Check on my bucket list. I've been here, I did it.
Organizers have already tested the confetti, and when the ball makes its midnight descent, 1 billion people will be watching around the world. Jamie Yuka, CBS News, New York.
An estimated 1 million people are expected to be in Times Square before midnight. Well, there are plenty of New Year's celebrations taking place right here in Kentucky as well.
And while many people know where they will celebrate tonight, first responders hope they've thought about how they will get home as well. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner is live in Lexington to show us how having a plan could save a life. Caitlin?
New Year's Eve is certainly meant to be a fun holiday, but as with any other holiday, there is increased traffic and an increased likelihood for drunk drivers to be out on the roads. That's why many here locally have already made plans to be cautious this New Year's Eve.
We know there's going to be an increased number of people drinking tonight.
Authorities know alcohol just comes with the territory of many New Year's Eve celebrations.
We want everyone to have a fun New Year's Eve, but we also want people to have a responsible New Year's Eve because we want people to make it home safely.
It's part of her job. Lexington Fire Department's Jessica Bowman is warning the public this holiday to be safe out on the roads, or better yet, just stay somewhere.
Well, it's just better be safe than sorry. I mean, I'm 53 years old and I've seen a lot of tragedies in my life, and it's just better be safe than sorry. We got us a room at the Courtyard Marriott, so we'll be doing all of our traveling on foot tonight and having a good time for New Year's.
That response is exactly what authorities are looking for, saying planning is what staying safe is all about on a busy celebratory night like tonight.
Authorities also recommend taking a cab or an Uber home tonight. A DUI certainly isn't worth the risk. In Lexington, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
Of course, taxis will be waiting outside the bars tonight for those who need rides home. If you'd like to use Uber, surge fees are listed online. The good news is, as we ring in the new year, the seasonal weather looks like it's going to be rain-free and mostly snow-free.
And how about this, though? You might see a snowflake or two as the clock strikes midnight. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's here now with your New Year's Eve forecast.
Yeah, you may see the flake, maybe even confetti out there from time to time as the clock strikes midnight, but it is a cold final day of 2015. We are a lot colder than yesterday at this time. 14 degrees colder in Lexington. We're almost 20 degrees colder into southeastern Kentucky. So where are the numbers now? We are into the low 30s into most of central and western parts of the area. A couple of mid and upper 30s still southeastern Kentucky. 41 Middlesboro and Harlan. Cold spot into Covington at 31. 33 Lexington. How about the winds? We've got a wind chill that is out there. Feels like 25 into Lexington. Cold spot again, northern Kentucky at 23. Those are the numbers to dress for if you're going to be out and about this evening. A lot of clouds that can produce a flurry or two on that strong northwesterly wind flow that is setting up shop. And right at midnight tonight as we say hello to 2016. Temperature right at 30 degrees, give or take a degree or two. Cloudy and cold, and the possibility, yes, of a snowflake or a little confetti flying around. We'll talk about how the first full week of the new year looks with a 7-day forecast when I come back in less than 10 minutes.
Record flooding closed a second interstate in Missouri this morning. Interstate 55 south of St. Louis is shut down for 3 miles because the Merrimack River is now covering it. Both the Merrimack and the Mississippi River are cresting at historic levels. One man who lives in the hard-hit city of Arnold managed to save his home using sandbags and a pump.
So the water is going from here to the other side?
Correct. We're just pumping it right back over the wall to keep it over there so it doesn't keep building up on this side. If we let it go, if we didn't pump it, it would equalize and be at this depth right here.
Interstate 44 west of St. Louis is also closed for 24 miles because of flooding. Forecasts call for water levels to gradually fall over the next several days. A western Kentucky highway is closed due to the rising Ohio River. The closures include the US 51 Ohio River, Cairo Bridge, and US 51 south of Wickliffe near the Ballard-Carlisle County line. About 5,000 vehicles use that bridge each day. The closure is expected to last about a week. The search continues for a third suspect after police say 3 men crashed a stolen car into a Lexington police cruiser. That crash happened on Terrace View Drive off Versailles Road. From there, police say the suspects drove off toward Red Mile Road. 3 men jumped out of the car and police quickly caught up to one of them. They say the second man had a gun but dropped it after accidentally shooting himself during the chase. When police caught up with him, they thought he still had the gun and released a police dog on him. It bit him. He was taken to the hospital and then on to jail.
A former teacher who pled guilty to having an inappropriate relationship with a student will be back in court on Monday. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Scott County. Police say that Elizabeth Alexander admitted to kissing and touching a 15-year-old in her classroom at Scott County High School and asking him to text her an explicit photo. A judge sentenced her to 1 year in prison. The News Graphic reports she wants early release from prison. Police have released some new details about the arrest of a suspected burglar. 20-year-old Donnie Sparks is charged with burglary for a break-in at a Woodford County animal clinic. State police say the troopers spotted Sparks' vehicle on I-75 in Mount Vernon and stopped him at a gas station on exit 59. In the last few weeks, the Midway Small Animal Clinic has reported multiple burglaries. Surveillance video shows the burglar getting into the clinic through a window, then going through desk drawers. Workers think the burglar was looking for money. A Whitley County Sheriff's deputy injured in a crash is out of the hospital. It happened late yesterday afternoon on Deep Ranch Road off Highway 92 near Williamsburg. The deputy, who's also Sheriff Harold's son, was involved in a head-on collision. We're told he's sore but expected to recover and be back to work on Monday. The sheriff says the other driver was not hurt. There's a data breach involving nearly everyone registered to vote in this country. It is massive. CSO Online has discovered a massive data file containing personal information on 191 million voters left unsecured online. The database includes names, addresses, phone numbers, and birth dates. It's not clear who built the database, but typically voter information must be obtained from each state.
Really, the only recourse voters would have is to lobby their representatives to secure the network in a way that's proper.
The New York Times reports as of Wednesday night, the database was no longer accessible online.
Security remains high in Brussels, Belgium, after the threat of an attack on the city's New Year's Eve celebrations. The city canceled its annual New Year's Eve fireworks display because of safety concerns. 2 men suspected of planning an attack have been arrested. People who live in the city still plan to gather to ring in 2016.
I really believe that the people from Brussels need to go out and party and need to gather as well and to bond together.
Paris also canceled its fireworks display, but one in London will still go on as planned. Fire broke out during Dubai's massive New Year's Eve fireworks display. The fire engulfed at least 20 stories of a luxury hotel and residential building. Flames sent burning debris raining down as firefighters raced to the scene. 14 people were hurt, but all of the injuries were minor.
Bill Cosby's attorneys say the comedian will be cleared of charges of sexual assault. Authorities in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, charged Cosby yesterday. They say he drugged and sexually assaulted a former Temple University employee in 2004. She sued him in 2005, and prosecutors used the depositions to build their case. While Cosby admitted in the depositions he used drugs on women he wanted to have sex with, his lawyer says it's no smoking gun.
There's nothing in that deposition where Mr. Cosby admits to committing any crime. In fact, he denies it vehemently.
More than 50 women have lodged similar complaints against him. A conviction could expose him to civil damages in other lawsuits. The mother of a teenage fugitive has been charged with hindering apprehension. Tanya Couch and her son Ethan fled to Mexico from Texas last week. She's in a Los Angeles jail right now after being deported from Mexico last night. Couch's case met headlines for receiving probation in a deadly drunk driving crash after his lawyers used an affluenza defense. He is still in Mexico after being granted a 3-day delay in deportation.
It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Environmentalists are applauding a new law signed by President Obama banning microbeads from cosmetic products. DeMarco Morgan shows us what it means for the environment and our food supply.
Microbeads are tiny pieces of plastic found in many health and beauty products, including soap, body scrub, and toothpaste. They are generally used to exfoliate or add polish. No bigger than a grain of salt, these microplastics are a big concern for environmental scientists. They say the tiny particles are a harmful source of ocean and lake pollution.
We now know the fish that we harvest from our Great Lakes are eating these microbeads. Ends up on your dinner plate. It's going from your face right back into your body.
Scientist Marcus Erickson and his team at the Five Gyres Institute study plastic pollution in waters around the world. He's found microbeads in the San Francisco Bay and in high concentrations in the Great Lakes. Not all water treatment plants are able to filter them out.
They're absorbing industrial chemicals, pesticides from farms, even oil drops from cars will stick to these microplastics and microbeads. At that point, they can enter the food chain.
A single cosmetic product can contain up to 300,000 non-biodegradable microbeads. In September, California banned sales of products containing microbeads. Assemblymember Richard Bloom authored the legislation and is thrilled that Congress is following California's lead.
It's very significant because you're going to have 50 states doing the same thing. I have no doubt that this is going to spread now to other countries. And the longer we have these pollutants in the environment, the harder it is to take action to effectively clean up after them.
Children who have allergies at an early age are more likely to deal with anxiety and depression. Researchers found that as the number of allergies increase, the more the child internalizes the anxiety or depression. Earlier studies have found links between allergies and anxiety disorders such as panic attacks. The new year can be a good time to make a few health-related resolutions. Minor changes like increasing the amount of steps you take and improve your health. Setting an earlier bedtime by about an hour is another good resolution to make.
Going to bed an hour earlier gets me all the sleep I need, so instead of feeling tired when I wake up, I'm energized, and then I don't have to do the catch-up sleep on the weekend that really unbalances my sleep patterns.
Lack of sleep is associated with an increased risk of heart disease and stroke. Research suggests getting more sleep can lower your blood pressure as well. For more